they do these weird like arm movements, and she'll bob their head.
They'll
and
chop
it's
off
really
their head?
No, they'll bob it. They'll go like that.
I was like, they
And
chop off their
no,
head.
it's really funny because he saw his reflection in the mirror once and he started to. Yeah, his beard is turning black now, meaning that he's getting mad. So, it turns black, either he's mad or it's mating season. So, but right now he's mad though. Okay. What else about lizards? They do hibernate in the winter, but they really like to stay out in the sun, and you could easily capture them because they'll, stay on rocks to, absorb sunlight. When they do absorb, their stomachs become like a satellite, like as round as a satellite, because that's how they generate the heat throughout their bodies, because he is cold-blooded.
So they transform.
Show you guys. Switching. Hello. You know what? There we go. They're very tame. He has been hand-bred by my great aunt, and he's a vertebrate. He has an internal skeleton, and it'll be really sad if he broke a leg. So, yeah, and that's like.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna switch to the invertebrates now, okay? The invertebrate family is it's a really large group. They're 98% have no backbone, or an internal skeleton. So that's around 2 million species are invertebrates. That leaves only 2%, which is around 57,739 are only vertebrates of the kingdom Animalia. Okay. Many invertebrates have a fluid-filled hydraulic skeleton like a jellyfish or worm. Others have a hard outer shell, kind of like spiders. Like a shrimp or lobster. So there's plenty of invertebrates. A lot of examples of invertebrates are sponges, jellyfish, corals, shellfish, octopus, and starfish, spiders, and insects. Okay. The most common are protozoa, which are microscopic. They cannot be seen by the eye. You have to look under a microscope. Annelids, which are snails, like the common garden snail. Ectoderms, like a starfish. Mollusks, and arthropods. We will only talk about a few of these. Arthropods. They include insects, crustaceans, and arachnids, okay? So we're going to talk about the annelids, whatever. So far, there are about 9,000 kinds of annelids known today, and some are worms, snails, and leeches. Their bodies are divided into segments. If you can see my crudely drawn picture of the worm. Yeah. And they have well-developed organs. I don't know why. Most worms are small, measuring to a fraction of an inch. That's just like that big. To a few inches, about that big. So that big, at least. Anyway, a ribbon worm can grow to 100 feet in length. It's huge, and it lives in the sea. I don't know, but it could grow to 100 feet in length.
About that fast.
Some worms are also parasites. If you eat raw pork, you could get something called a pork worm, and it lives inside your. I'm going to name some of the different types of worms, okay? There's roundworms, and flatworms. Okay, a pinworm is a roundworm, which is actually what it's called. It is round. A flatworm is like a tapeworm. It is very long and it is very flat. Okay. Yeah, and they feed off of humans, dogs, cats.
There'll be bumps under your eyes.
There'll be like bumps. There'll
No.
be weird bumps.
You could find tapeworms. I think they have to like X-ray you maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna get rid of it.
If you have like weird little bumps.
One day you have blood vein here and the next day
Your name is
Um,
I always was close.
Yeah. Okay, so that's enough about worms. We're gonna talk about spiders. Yeah. And just a little tidbit. This is a camel spider. It was found in Mexico, and it looks like a scorpion, also like a termite, but they're really nasty.
What does it do?
It's just a spider.
They just come.
In the desert, like in Arabia, since there's no vegetation whatsoever, these spiders will come and they'll chase you, but they're mostly trying to hide, like,
Under you?
not under you, but they are trying to use your shadow to cool them off. It's really interesting. So they'll chase you, but they're just wanting to
shadow?
cool off. Yeah.
So yeah, like jump in the ATV.
The shadow's moving.
Arachnids, which are
Arachnids?
arachnids, they are spiders.
That's cool.
Okay, so they do not belong to the butterfly family. They actually have their own little class. They have appendages for walking, of course. And
How big are they?
Word arachno.
camel spiders can grow to be about as big as a large dinner plate, so kind of really big. So
A large what?
they could grow as large
Like
as a
a
dinner
plate.
plate, like a plate.
Oh,
Like I'm not talking about like a plate. I'm talking about a plate.
That'd be a fun thing to run away from.
yeah.
Anyway, they're invertebrates, and they have an exoskeleton instead of an inner skeleton. Their first pair of legs can be used for catching prey and holding on to it while they attack it and kill it. They could also use their legs for building and tearing down their front legs. They use it for tearing and building down their webs, because
They have webs?
yeah, some spiders,
Yes,
Oh,
spiders
spider.
have
I thought you were
webs.
talking about the camel spiders.
No.
I'm like,
spiders, arachnid spiders.
How come camel spiders don't have webs?
Because there's no place for them to put them, so they'll hide under rocks.
Not to
And,
There's no
yeah,
high places.
yeah.
Just dig a big hole. Build a big hole and put the web on top of that. Somebody can walk by.
Spiders, spiders will live anywhere, and I'm just talking about any type of spider. They'll live up high. Some will live in the trees. Some will live in your house. Some will also dig little burrows. Well, not dig, but they will spin a web. It's called a funnel spider. It'll spin a funnel of webs, and if a bug goes down in there, they're dead because the spider's waiting on the other side. So they'll live just about anywhere. Some will also live under rocks and whatever else they could accommodate. The threads that they spin can hold egg sacs, like the black widow. When it has eggs, it'll actually spin it and attach it onto the bottom of anything. Black widows normally don't move from their birthplace.
So where they're born, they stay for the rest of their lives?
Most.
So that
some
means
of
that your
them.
garage
Yeah.
will always
Okay.
have black widows.
Yeah, some of them.